Seen them live the other week. Well, the first 4 songs, and then had to leave and carry someone home. Anyway, more live music will be coming up, not on here, but for me in the near future. Because this group we're going to be speaking to live on air after this song, or the lead singer, I should say. But this is one of his older tracks from Afraid of Mice days. And it's called Intercontinental. First time it's been played on Ram FM. Right, here goes. Trying to ring out.
Hello.
Phil, it's James on Ram FM. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I've got you, yeah.
Yeah, you're all good?
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, excellent. Just a quick update, mate. You're live on Ram FM. You've got many a follower on Ram FM because you were kind enough to furnish me with some of your music, some of the older stuff as well. Now, we are predominantly an 80s station, so we've got some sort of Afraid of Mice stuff in there. All we want to do really was get a feel of of where the band's gone, how it started and where you're at now. So really, let's go back to Afraid of Mice. You're probably one of the reasons why I took up drinking, if I'm honest. Because
thanks very much.
It's all right, mate. I'm not complaining. My first time I ever came to see you were live in the Broadway Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was 15, mate, and I ended up absolutely legless. I had to be carried out by John Green, the doorman.
I'm not accepting responsibility for that.
No, you got no need to, mate. But all the gifts you've given us since, mate, absolutely. I'm a massive fan, as you know. I want to go back to the days of Afraid of Mice. And Two's a Crowd, and we'll cover, also Up and Running. But at the time, you had groups like Echo and the Bunnymen, you had Teardrop Explodes. You were sort of described as punk and new wave. What was your inspiration when you first set up the group?
Well, it's actually, there's more history to that than people realise. I had a band prior to Afraid of Mice called Next. And Next signed a huge deal with CBS.
Yeah.
So Next were like a theatrical prog rock band. But I realised, well, whilst we were getting into the industry, I recognised that all around me, the landscape had changed, and CBS intended to go ahead with this release of this album, which was like, it had a 60-minute track called The Trilogy, which was based on 3 characters from Oliver Twist. And I used to dress up in various costumes, and played these 3 characters, Bill Sykes, Fagin, and Beetle Bumble. So it was all about that kind of thing. And then halfway through the album, I thought, this is pants. So frankly, I lost interest in the album, and basically the deal fell apart.
Fell apart. Is that when you went on to your first album, which was called a Trip to the Dentist's Chair?
That's right, yeah.
Right.
And that was the name of the album, but it actually never got released.
Right, okay.
So I spent a couple of years in the wilderness, regrouping, and I decided that the new band, I wanted it to be more gritty, more down to earth, and hence Fade of Mice was a totally different direction.
I think it was, mate. And they say in life, musicians need a break, and some of the music, well, all the music I've listened to, you've actually written and produced and sang. There was some absolutely dire music made in the 80s, but all the stuff you've made, I put right up there with some of the best bands, and I just don't think you got that break. Do you feel the same?
I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah. Again, I look back and you had a producer, Tony Visconti.
Yeah.
He'd worked with David Bowie.
Yeah.
He worked with some big bands, and it just never happened. And I can't express enough to everyone who's listening, some of this music, and it's not readily available because you've never really sold it mainstream, have you, Phil?
No.
We'd like that's something I'm going to come to later, but we'd like to see you actually put this music on Amazon, because there's a lot of people out there who'd like to buy it. One of the things I've struggled with, apart from meeting you personally, is getting hold of some of the old tracks. Bingo, absolutely massive tune, that should have been a chart hit. This Mirror should have been a chart hit. Today I was looking at a video, you were interviewed about This Mirror, and I remember you saying, if this one doesn't chart, we'll just make another. Is that how you felt at the time?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, because
I wasn't working from script. I was just answering questions as they were fired at me. I didn't know what the question was going to be in advance.
Yeah, a very, very young Phil Jones as well, I have to say, don't I?
Well, I guess, yeah.
By the way,
20s.
43 years now, isn't it, mate? You've been in the industry.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Right.
Maybe a little longer, actually.
Yeah, it's probably 45 years. But I'm
more like 45.
Yeah, Transparents. It would just play that on air now. And
with regard, my apologies, but with regard to the availability of the material online, that is about to change. I've just taken up with a new partner. It's an infant at the moment, but the signs are very, very encouraging. This guy is doing wonders for me. He's helping me promote an upcoming concert in the O2 Academy. That's on the 29th, Friday the 29th of June. He's helping me design the stage production. He's got some great ideas. I've known him for years, and he was under my nose for years, but I didn't realise what talents he had off stage. And I'm absolutely over the moon with the way the relationship's going.
No, this is
and
brilliant.
He will look after organising my online presence.
No, this is brilliant, because the stuff you've got, and I've got copies of it now. I play it on Ram FM. A few of the other DJs play some of it as well. And you know what? It needs to be out there, because it really is that good. And I'm going to digress slightly. I'm going to go to the song that did chart. And I've always wanted to ask you this. Every song has a story. And with regard to yourself, Johnny Maria charted, didn't it?
Yeah.
What was the story behind Johnny and Maria? Because I've always wanted to know.
Well, first of all, you have to understand that that was released on TAC Records, which basically was the TAC, Choose a Crowd. So basically, we were our own label. It was just me and Alex.
Yeah.
And we decided to release a record. Now, that record sold better than any record I released on a major label. But the thing is, we because it was an independent record, we went to Probe to ask advice, because we knew we were going to need distribution, etc. And they were affiliated to London Records. So we had this meeting with the guy from Probe and Jeff from Probe. And he said, at one point though, boys, I can't even remember what the record was we intended to release. We said, this is an independent release, but that doesn't sound like an independent record. So I went, So I got the bus back home to Birkenhead, picked up a guitar, and by the time my wife got home, I'd written a verse and chorus. And the only reason I wrote it was because I've never really been big on sort of the scene, the music scene, and following the music scene and being a part of the music scene. And all I really knew was I'd seen a propensity of cowboy hats on the front covers of the NME and the Sounds and the Melody Maker. So I just assumed there was a new wave country thing going on. So I wrote a kind of country song.
Okay, you had the cowboy boots as well, didn't you?
Yeah, so it was just a blind stab in the dark.
It wasn't, compared to everything else you previously written. It was a little bit out the zone, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, no, it was an out and out, an attempt at a pop song.
Yeah.
Unashamed. A little little side story to Johnny Marie, which is quite interesting and highly amusing. A friend of mine asked could he cover it, and I gave him permission. He hangs around in the country scene, and apparently a local line dancing group started using it, and somehow it's found itself across the world. There are videos on YouTube. It's been rebranded as J&M Mambo.
Right. Okay.
You put J&M Mambo into YouTube, you'll see Japanese housewives in the gymnasium line dancing.
I love
There's
it.
guys in America with cowboy hats and all wearing mustard shirts, line dancing to Johnny Marie. It's bizarre.
Remember it well.
I've got to remember them on radio. Nearly swore that.
Yeah, it's all right. You might get away with it because we actually broadcast from the Netherlands, and the owner of the station, he's actually a musician who used to he used to be part of a band across there. Got a very similar journey to yourselves. They were called Baden Baden, but I'll come on to that a little bit later. I did another thing I want to cover as well. My main first big concert I ever went to, you recorded. It was live at Lime Street, at the Empire. My God, that was a hoot, wasn't it?
It was amazing, yeah. Because again, we did that ourselves. We just went to the Empire and said, "How much does it cost to hire this place?" And they said, "Blah blah." I said, "Okay, well, if you got so and so date free."
I think you
and
could.
we were just a pub band.
I know, but it was for the first proper concert.
But we were
for
fearless.
Me, yeah, it was, and not just that. It was actually the performance on stage. I remember well, because one thing you've always been as a musician and a singer, you're an entertainer as well. Especially when you go out with a band, absolutely awesome. I remember coming away from that thinking, if that's what concerts are about, and the quality of music, I'm there every time. So I had the bug then, after that. And I'm talking about musicians, you don't
Strangely enough, though, I felt that it's actually quite a lot of it was smoke and mirrors, to be honest. I suppose that's what showmanship is. The recording that we released was actually only done on an 8-track reel
right,
to
okay.
reel.
Okay. Well, within the new agreement,
mixed in the bedroom.
In the
sold
bedroom,
11,000 copies.
Right. Well, within the new person who's going to be promoting your albums and your music, etc., is there going to be the chance for us to buy Live at Lime Street?
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant, because I can only get that on vinyl, and if I'm honest, I've got nothing to play it on, and to put it back out there.
As an aside, I can furnish you with a copy of that on disc if you want.
You're a top man. But you know what? I'd rather buy it because musicians like yourself, I'd rather
give me £3. That's enough for a pint.
All right, I'll give you the tenner instead, and you can have 3. And if you go to Wetherspoons, you can have 4. Now, musicians as you are, how many? I think it's 4, but how many different instruments do you play?
I haven't really counted, and you've got to bear in mind that when you say play, I play to varying degrees of ability.
Yeah.
I play. My first instrument is probably the flute. Guitar, rhythm guitar. I'm just rhythm guitar. I can't play lead. I play saxophone, and obviously that, I can play clarinet because it's the same thing basically. I do a lot of my writing on keyboards, so I'm not a pianist, but I know my way around the piano. The piano keyboard, know how it works, how to use it. I do all my own percussion, when I'm recording. So
really, there's no end to your talents, really, is there? With regards
harmonica, play harmonica. I'm pretty good at blues harp.
No, this is all good. See, one
But
thing we
to me,
always
they're
say.
all the same thing. You see, they're all just like they're like pencils. You know, sometimes you need green pencils, and you need a red pencil.
One thing we always say on Ram FM, in the 80s, we had proper musicians and proper singers, not like the manufactured nonsense we get these days. And on your new stuff, Shut Down, I think is brilliant. For me, if that was in the charts, I'd go out and buy it now. Boom, a little bit older, but you know what? I'll go and buy it. You and me, I'll go and buy it.
Boom is younger than Shut Down. Shut Down's older than Boom.
Right, is it? Okay, I've got them the wrong way around.
Yeah.
But I'd certainly go and buy it if it was out there. I'd go and buy that, and it'd be in the charts. But you know, maybe
Well,
I'm 45, so you know, it's all about genre, isn't it?
Well, they're not. Yeah, they're not. The last page of the book has not yet been written, so you know anything can happen. And I haven't given up. Although I've spent a while in the wilderness, I will admit, I kind of, for various reasons, I became a father. At which point I thought, well, I don't want to be spending the next 10 years spending 6 months of the year on tour. So I decided I would be happy to play locally, so that I always went home with my kids.
And that brings us nicely, doesn't it, onto Jake and Ben.
Yes, yeah.
Jake and Ben, when you
They're
perform...
both in a band together, and they're great. They're going to be supporting me at this O2 Academy.
Brilliant, because your last concert at the O2, I was at. I actually seen you in the pub opposite beforehand.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the one last year, or
Yeah.
when I was
I think it was
60th?
October. Was it October? October gone?
No, it was December.
December. Yeah, well, we were out
Yeah,
anyway.
it was only about 4 months ago.
Yeah, and Jake and Ben actually performed
That's right, yeah.
before you, and if I'm right, the whole band had pretty much been together a couple of days.
Well, they'd had one rehearsal with the drummer who was standing in for them. So, but the drummer is an amazing musician.
We thought
They've got their own drummer now, and he's great.
well, we thought they were brilliant anyway. You know, as a warm-up act, you might have to watch yourself, mate.
Yeah,
They were that good.
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Passing it on.
It is, and you know what? It's great the fact that they've actually taken on board your love of music and also the ability. One thing I've not got is the ability to pick up an instrument and play it. Having a father like yourself, needless to say,
it is lovely, but had they decided to be doctors and solicitors, I'd have been just as supportive.
Yeah, no.
It's nice that the musicians.
Well, we
can share our love of the same career.
We took a friend along that night to that gig, and she was asking, well, what's the band called? And I think at the time they'd been wrongly promoted as, was it Fourth Floor or something like that?
Yeah, then they changed the name to 1117, which I hated.
Yeah.
Because you put it on a poster with other bands, and it just looks like the time. 1117. What's on at 1117?
Well, my first thought,
and when they saw it in print, we've been showing them proofs for posters and what have you, and press releases, and they realised it did look shit, so they changed it now to the Garnets.
Oh, the Garnets, is that the new name? Yeah. Okay, we'll keep an eye out for them as well. The Garnets. So, anyway, I'm not going to keep much longer. So we got the gig on the 29th of June.
That's right. Yeah. O2 Academy.
O2 Academy.
Tickets will be on sale Monday.
Okay, well, I'll be certainly buying a few anyway, because
I'll have them at my gigs, and you can get them from Ticketmaster and the O2 box office.
No, brilliant, because we'll be there, and a lot of Ram FM listeners as well will probably want to be there as well. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to finish with one final question. Yep. We've got the Dutch group Baden Baden, which the owner of the station, Paul Sturrup, he was the lead singer in. We're hoping to bring them across to the UK next year. Would you consider sharing the venue with Baden Baden?
Absolutely.
Oh, brilliant. If we can bring that together, that'll be our version of Bands Reunited off MTV.
Okay, cool.
And they are really good. I'll send you across a link for some of their stuff. I'd like to thank you on behalf of everyone at Ram FM for coming on the show and giving us your time. Wish you the best of luck, and I will see you soon, Phil. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you very much, James.
Cheers, buddy.
Don't forget, 29th of June, O2 Academy. Cheers.
The big fella's there. Take care, mate. Love you to bits.
You too. Good night, man.
Night, mate.
Mama is a jet setter. Daddy likes to fly away. Mama got a red letter the day her daddy passed away. jet setter. Daddy likes to fly away. Mama got a red letter the day her daddy passed away. Mama lives in Sweden, Dad lives in Spain. They fight for my attention, I can't see through the game. They are transparent, I can't see through them. They are transparent, million miles between them. They are transparent, I can't see through them. They are transparent.
Wow. That was Phil Jones. Yes, with Afraid of Mice. And prior to that, that was Phil Jones on the phone. What a guy. What a lovely guy. Now officially a friend of the show. So I'll keep you informed of where we can buy his music from. He's got loads of great music, if I'm honest. I've got most of it. Any new stuff I normally pick up, but I couldn't play on here. But I'm sure you'll love it. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Next week, we have Ian Brody from the Lightning Seeds. How good is that?